Welcome to the best hour of their day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez
and me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
as both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the best hour of your day.
Jason, in best hour of their day, he's a personal friend. But
what other kind of friends are there?
One thing I like about what they do is you may think all they care about is like getting better at coaching. Maybe it's not about business systems or operations or revenue or raising prices or how to, optimize those sorts of things. That's not true, right? If you do go into their system, they are competent in those sorts of things. If you're garbage at coaching, they will point that out. Right? Not you personally, but maybe your coach, whatever. They really look at the individual as well. Some people, like me, I coach, when you come to the business calls, I'm at where I want to be. I'm perfectly happy in my affiliate. I coach twice a week. I take the 6 a.m. class every day. I don't do anything else. Pay myself twice a month. Take corporate rent out. Pays for my mortgage. Lots of things like that. I'm so happy. I want you to feel happy. So if you're happy as paying yourself, if you're happy as just getting people fitter, not paying yourself a dime, whatever. I don't know your current lifestyle. We're not a franchise, just like you mentioned, but they do a great job of understanding the individual in your personal journey. Without further ado, he's very small, so they can feel confident.
Hey, we got to make this quick. I got 4 minutes because Austin went long. So, any questions? Thank you, Andrew. How about another round of applause for that guy? He was texting all of you. He's like nonstop, texts me, calls me. He's like my only friend that actually calls you. I'm like, how dare you call my phone? And like, you're not going to believe it. The Midwest is different than every other. How many times have you told me that?
A lot.
Is that true? Because look at you guys. There's like 200 of you. We've been to some of these other summits. There's like 4 people in the Northeast. You guys are crushing it. So there's no place I'd rather be than right here talking to a bunch of affiliate owners. So thank you guys for allowing me to be here. Thank you guys. And I say there's no place I'd rather be because I got 2 really young kids at home, and there's literally I'd rather be here than home right now. I was leaving yesterday, and my wife was very angry at me. I was like, I gotta work, honey. I gotta work. I'm sorry, I have to go to work. It was like anybody have 2 young kids, under 2? I was like stressed out, and then I got on the plane, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is the best thing I've ever done. And then I was like talking to everybody. They're going out to eat, doing this stuff, and I was like, okay, I'll meet you guys there. And then it was like 9 o'clock, and I realized I just sat in my bed staring at the ceiling for like 3 hours. It was glorious. So I'm excited to talk to you guys. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about affiliate ownership. Sound good? All right. Let me introduce myself a little bit. How many of you have I met before? Oh, cool. I met a lot of you. Awesome. Some of you work with us with Affiliate U, Best Hour, maybe at the games. Cool. Anybody listen to our podcast? Best Hour there? Wow. And you showed up, even after listening. Awesome. Well, let me give you a brief rundown. And if I give you everything I've ever done in my life in like 20 seconds, I sound super impressive. You spread it out over 45 years, and you're like, not so cool. But I've owned 4 affiliates, currently own 1. It's my basement. It's called Best Hour CrossFit. I like to brag about this fact. Retention. Who knew that? I got 100% retention rate, Scott. 100%. How about, however, let me make something clear. The other member, my wife, I'm considering kicking out because she's like becoming that pain in the butt member. Like, I need special programming. I'm like, you had a kid 3 months ago. You can do the workout. Like, let's do this thing. So 4 affiliates, sold 3 of them in New York. I think this stat is true. It was the biggest financial sale ever in affiliate history. Had no intention of that in 2007 when I first opened. So pretty cool. 7 years later, was able to sell it. I have my level 4, the real level 4, not this nonsense one they put out now that everyone's passing. Just kidding. But I took the old one back in 2008 in Santa Cruz. You guys, maybe, anyone been around that long that they remember that? Anybody else take it? I think it was me and Denise Thomas. Let me give you a quick story about that. So you show up, and they're like, hey, you're going to coach the sumo deadlift high pull. Meanwhile, I've never coached in front of anyone other than my class before, never had someone evaluate me. So here I am, 2008, pretty new into CrossFit coaching, and it's like Nicole Carroll, Dave Castro, Coach Glassman, Pat Sherwood, Adrian Bosman watching me. Of course I mess it up. End of the day, you ever see the old HQ, the one in the videos with the stairs in that loft, like where they did Nasty Girls and Greg Amundsen's working out? So you finish up, and it's like 2 o'clock, and they start calling you up there to tell you how you've done, whether you passed or failed, the level 2, the old level 2. So I'm sitting there, and I'm watching person after person come down crying. Not tears of joy, but it was like, again, like me, no one had been given feedback. This is the first time you're getting feedback on your coaching. So it was my turn to go up there. Vividly remember, Dave Castro looks at me. He goes, well, Jay, how do you think you did? I said, well, until I saw everybody coming down crying, I thought I did well. But that kind of changed my belief. And he was like, well, you passed. So I was pretty psyched. And then Nicole Carroll looks at me and she says, you're not a great coach. But people like being around you. I was like, all right. And I've run with that for the last, 15 years or so. Still not a great coach, but hopefully you guys enjoy being around me a little bit. Outside of that, I've been on seminar staff. Have I done any of your level 1s or level 2s? 1? All right, I'm not doing a great 2. Not a great job on seminar staff, but been doing that for about 10 years. 300 plus seminars, traveled the world teaching this CrossFit thing. I've got some things I want to talk about. Charity asked some questions, and you guys were asking Austin these amazing questions, and I want you guys to leave here with a handful of actionable things to take back to your affiliate. But before that, I want to go off on a slight tangent. Those of you that know me know I never go on tangents. I always extremely focused. Right, Devin? I already saw the eye roll. Devin's one of our longest clients, and I can look on our Zoom calls and watch in his expression whether I am on target or not. Because when I start going off topic, he just tunes out. But we've got this expression, this motto within our company, best hour of their day, winners win. Any of our clients heard me say this before? A handful of you? And I want to talk briefly about that because Austin was up here, and I think there are some of you that are not getting everything you want out of affiliate ownership. Is that true? Who's getting everything they ever dreamed of out of owning an affiliate? Financial success. They're happy with their lifestyle. 3 or 4 people. The rest of you, is there more you want to get out of this thing? Yeah, me too. So this expression, winners win. I'll give you the backstory. Like Andrew said, I don't know if it's surprising to you. I don't know if you guys that listen to the podcast can tell from hearing I sound like a little bit, kind of like a munchkin, I think. Is that true? Is that true? A little bit? No? I appreciate that you're saying no, I don't. I don't like listening to myself talk. But I am 5'3". Obvious. It's more obvious when I stand next to Andrew, right? You're like, oh, that guy is small. So I show up to high school. Anybody go to high school? And freshman year, first day of class. First day. Third period. Vivid memory. You guys have those vivid memories? Third period, I walk into earth science class. And this guy, big, kind of fro of a hairdo, mustache, looked a little like you, Ian. I see it. Mr. Ortega, 88 pounds, and he was like, perfect, we need a 91 pounder this year. Are you in? I'm not even like, I'm here, like walking in. And I was like any mature ninth grader, 13, 14-year-old, I'm like, hey, let me ask my mom if that's okay. You know, we'll let you know tomorrow. So I go home and I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, Mr. Ortega wants me to wrestle. And I felt like a super like conservative mom, like I was the only child. And it was, I could tell, she was like, I don't know about this. And she signed the waiver, and I come back the next time, like, Mr. Ortega, I'm going to wrestle. So I show up, first practice, and I was like, I know you look at me now, and you're like, that dude is athletic. But at the time, I certainly wasn't. I was, like I said, 88 pounds. And I would ask him all these questions. Hey, Mr. Ortega, I know you said, like, you put this half in here and you roll the guy, but what if this happens? He was like, hey, winners win. I was like, okay, I don't think that's going to help, but I got it. What if this happens? Winners win, winners win, winners win. And unbeknownst to me, he was kind of instilling this life lesson of winners win. And it's something in Best Hour CrossFit, in my basement on the wall, it says winners win. It's something I preach to all of our clients, winners win, because it's a mentality that I've carried through. That was 1993, right? It's 2000, that was 30 years ago when I was a freshman in high school. And it's a mantra, it's a lifestyle that's carried with me. You know, flash forward, I go to college, upstate New York. Signed up for the pre-med program. And then about 3 days into college, I was like, this is not for me. Organic chemistry, anybody do organic chemistry? I was like, molecules, what, this? And I remember calling my mom, and I could hear the disappointment in her voice that I was no longer like, Mom, I'm not doing pre-med. So I graduate college in 2000 with a degree in psychology, which basically means you're not equipped to do anything in this world. So I was like, well, I got to keep going to school. I got a master's in psychology, but still completely unequipped to do anything. And I didn't want to anyway, because I loved fitness. 1993, when I found wrestling, I found my first gym, Club Fit Jefferson Valley. I begged my mom because I was getting my ass beat. That winners win nonsense wasn't working on the wrestling mats. And I was like, I got to get stronger or something, Mom. This is embarrassing. I'm fighting in front of my friends. I'm wearing spandex. Can I get stronger? So I joined Club Fit, and I was like, this is what I want to do. This is all I've ever wanted to do, was coach people. But when you graduate college, all my friends, I lived in upstate New York, so we're like, 2 hours from Manhattan. All my friends were going back to the city, 6-figure jobs in the year 2000 at 22 years old, like the peak of this financial thing. And I was like psyched to be making $7 an hour at Gold's Gym. I remember getting a job at Gold's Gym. I was like, I have made it. This is literally it. This is all I want. Arnold, right? Who had the encyclopedia of bodybuilding next to their bed? Anybody? Yeah. I was like, yes, Gold's Gym. If I got someone to commit to personal training with me, I made $15 an hour. I was like, I'm rich. They paid $40 to Gold's Gym, and I got 15. It's like, this is cool. This is cool. But for 7 years, I struggled. From 2000 to 2007, I lived in downtown Albany. I was driving my grandma's Ford Taurus, like the ultimate grandma mobile. Not even like a cool color, like beige Ford Taurus. And I was like, cool. Like, it was all dinged up because my grandma was old, right? And like driving into things. And then I finally found CrossFit. Because I was ready to quit. I was like, you know what? I gave it a good run. Let's go get a real job. I got this master's. Like, I'll be a teacher or something. And I found CrossFit. My buddy, I trained jiu-jitsu. And in 2007, he shows me this magazine, Muscle and Fitness. And on the cover of Muscle and Fitness was a guy named Chuck Liddell. You remember Chuck Liddell? Like one of the OG UFC, mohawk, tattoos on his head. But this guy, John Ackerman, had a gym called The Pit. And you guys that have been around for a long time know that was one of the very first CrossFit affiliates. And like many of you that found CrossFit back in the day, I went onto the website, this old, like rinky-dink website, and just was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna do this workout tomorrow. And I never looked back. How many of you, similar story, you found this thing and you're like, this is it, this is my life now. One of the very first workouts that's now been dubbed the Dirty Dozen. It's like 30 of this, 40 of that, right? Go back, you can probably find it. Chris Spieler's on the website. 13 minutes, this dude. You guys remember Chris Spieler? He's like my height, but way more fit. 13 minutes. I was like, all right, I'll do that. And I was at a gym called the Court Club, training people in the Nautilus room, because it's like a Nautilus circuit. It's like 1970s equipment. I'm like 45 minutes into this workout. I was like, what the hell is happening here? Right? I was like, this is not real. And then the Fight Gone Bad would come out. And like, I didn't know, so I was like upstairs and I'd have to go downstairs to do the box jumps and then run back upstairs. I bought a set of rings from Rogue. Bill Henniger told me I was the second ever person to buy something on Rogue when they only had rings. Hung them up on the cage. I was like, oh, these are broken. I can't do muscle ups. These things don't work. How do I send them back, Bill? And, but I loved it. I just kept at it. And here's the thing. The reason I bring that up is because we talk about winners win, right? I know that Coach Ortega put that in me, but that mentality, that mindset, that mantra is in fact in all of you, because I know how hard it is to run an affiliate. There's so many things you guys could choose to be doing that would be easier than owning a CrossFit affiliate. Do we agree with that? Like, go to Starbucks and make $20 an hour to serve coffee. That's easier. And how many times have you looked at your paycheck or lack thereof and been like, oh, I make actually less than that. Maybe I should go get a job. How many of you considered getting a job? How many of you still work a job while owning a CrossFit affiliate? Yeah, I want that to change. My belief is anyone that owns a CrossFit affiliate before the money should be having a lot of fun. Because if it's not fun, like I said, go do something else. There's plenty of other things you can do that are fun. But I believe if you own an affiliate, at a minimum, you should be making 6 figures. Does that sound crazy? I was making 6 figures by 2008. I was making more money than my friends that got real jobs. And it's just like, hey, you commit to this and you do things right, it will be there. Coach Glassman used to say, if you chase excellence, the money will follow. And we're going to talk more about that. Back to winners win. I know you guys have that because you deal with pain in the butt members and you have that mentality, winners win. You deal with coaches leaving you, and that stings, right? But if you have that mentality, I know you have it because you're sitting here today when literally a global pandemic tried to shut you down. How many of you were open when they told you to shut down your gym and you're still here today? How many gyms around you closed during that time? Did anybody have gyms around them close during that? Yeah, but here you are, still here, because winners win. And I want to tell you something. I say this to my clients, you probably say it to your athletes, your members. I'm not a snowflake. I'm just somebody that did not quit when it would have been easier to quit. And I know each of you can achieve that. Because like I said, I'm not unique. You all have that within you. We on the same page? Should we talk about affiliates? Yeah. All right. Thanks for letting me tell that story. Austin kind of asked you guys some questions. Let me ask you some more questions. Let's repeat one of the ones he asked you. I know we had 10 weeks over here. Who's a 10-weeker? So 10 weeks, yeah. Who's been open more than 10 years? Wow. Wow, more than anybody, what, I opened in 07, so Cleveland, anybody else? Wow, 15 plus years. That's awesome. How many of you are confident you can make people fit? Everyone? Jeff? All right. Jeff's like, I don't know. We have fun. How many of you are as confident that you can make people fit in that you know how to run your business successfully? Okay, cool. Cool. How many of you just put your hands up that aren't making enough money, though? Some of you. All right. Let's talk about some other things. Because I think, does sometimes owning an affiliate feel like you're on an island, like it's lonely? You guys feel lonely? Look around. There's 200 of you in a pretty close radius. But I understand that. Let's bring up a couple of topics, because I get a lot of questions within the company like, hey, Jay, you're never going to believe this. Completely unique story. Somebody's cheating at the box. I've never heard of that. Who's had a rep shaver at their box? Everyone. A rep shaver. Not doing all the reps, Ian. Who's had a smelly person that they had to have a private conversation with? Look around, right? Like, we've all been there. You think like, oh, this is crazy. This guy smells like. We all got that guy or gal. Here's your deodorant. Come back tomorrow. Who has had a coach leave them to open another affiliate? Yeah. You know what? Back in the day, man, I lost my mind the first time that happened. I went from being the best man in someone's wedding to no longer friends because they left. Anybody have a bad relationship when someone leaves? And then I had a private conversation with Coach Glassman. And he said, Jay, when someone leaves your box, you've inspired them to do something they love. And I think the more boxes that open from within you, the more successful you are. I was like, well, I disagree with you, Coach, but how many people left Santa Cruz, huh? But he was right. If you're doing a good job, you should inspire other people to do it as well. When someone leaves, you're saying, hey, I've taught you so well, and I've instilled this knowledge of you that you feel confident in what I'm doing you want to do. That should not be a bad thing. Let's flip it around. How many of you have helped someone lose 100 pounds? Holy crap, that's crazy. That's amazing that you guys have done that. How many of you, like me, were invited to a wedding, one wedding or more at your gym? Any of you marry somebody, like actually the person up there marrying someone? Yeah, I've done that. I was the best man three different times. How many of you had someone meet their significant other because of your gym? Look at what? 20 people have met? 20 couples. 20 couples? Married? 20? Whoa. Imagine all the non-married sex that was happening prior to that. That's cool. What box is that? I'm going to join that one. Wow. Made me forget my next question. I'm so distracted.
We do have a singles club.
You got a singles thing going on there? Singles mingle here? But how come when I talk to you guys about money or raising rates, you only think about the negative things? Why is that? None of you are like, yeah, let's raise rates. Look at 20 people got married. You're going to come here. You're going to lose weight. You might meet somebody else. You're definitely going to have sex with somebody else. This is so fun. Why don't we think about that? Don't change your slogan. Creating elite sexual relationships. Don't do that. You guys are changing lives. Do you realize that? I think sometimes you guys don't appreciate that about yourselves. You're changing 100 pounds. I mean, I met my wife through CrossFit at her level 1. Don't tell Austin this, but it was when he was my boss still. No, it was like very friendly, and I met her. I've got kids because of it. I never thought I'd have kids. I didn't want to have kids. Still kind of don't want to have kids. It's too late. It's too late. They're here. But man, I've met my best friends. I get to wake up every day and do what I love because of CrossFit. And I will only want that for you guys as well. We love affiliates. We love helping affiliates because it is the best job in the world. Do you guys agree? Yep. And I want you guys to leave here with some actionable tools. But the most important thing I want to change is that mindset of we should earn a living here. And that living can be financially, it can be creating the perfect day in your life. You should wake up every day and be able to do what you love. Because like I said, there are other options out there, and you continue every day to wake up and choose the harder option. So I want to help instill some confidence in you guys in that. We're going to talk about an ideal class. And I want you guys to think about it because of this. Do you guys agree CrossFit works? You guys remember the definition of CrossFit from your level 1? Constantly varied functional movements at high intensity. Remember those 6 words? Here's the thing though. CrossFit is so good. CrossFit is so potent. Shitty CrossFit works. Right? In 2007, I was doing shitty CrossFit. I was not doing 13-minute dirty dozens. I did not have a sub 3-minute Fran, but I was getting fitter. I was getting leaner. Have you guys experienced that yourselves? So the cool thing is, you do not have to do anything different when you go home today, tomorrow, or Monday at 5 a.m. when you coach your next class. You just have to continue to do what you're doing, but better. Easy enough. And we'll talk about that. So let me give you some actionable things. Let's talk a little bit about how we can go home and make improvements. Let me ask you this. Who's got their level 4? Anyone? DT? You got that level 4? Austin? Level 3, anybody? Hell yeah, good work. That easy test, right? It is my belief that if you are a CrossFit trainer, CrossFit coach, you should always be pursuing the next credential. A big pet peeve of mine is when I look in that Facebook group and someone asks, should I get to level 2 or should I just renew my level 1? I'm like, you don't give a shit about your members. Because from day 1, when that level 2 came out, I flew to Santa Cruz from New York. Had no idea what to expect, but I was like, well, this is next, so I'm doing it. Right? Did you guys like in 8th grade, like, maybe I'll go to 9th grade. I'll stay here. I learned how to dissect a leaf. I'm good. Why'd they teach that? Teach me how to balance a checkbook, not how to dissect a leaf. No? You guys remember the theoretical hierarchy of the development of an athlete? Yeah? You guys remember that? Cool. What's the foundation? Yeah. Nutrition. Low-hanging fruit. Let's eat better. Quality and quantity. Anybody do the zone back in the day? Anybody still do the zone? Dabble in it? Dabble in the zone. Some meals I block out, some I don't. All right. Above nutrition. Metcon. What's above Metcon? Gymnastics, controlling your own body weight. What's above that? Weightlifting and throwing. And above that, what's at the peak? Sport. And the way this was designed is they kind of build upon one another. For most of you, like we kind of talked about, I heard Austin talk about, like we're not really chasing the games. But sport simply represents being the best version of yourself or whoever that member is, what that means to them. And the cool thing is we can take this, I want to maintain this, and just look at it from a business perspective. If we take the same thing at your affiliate, the foundation, we would tell you is sales. Right? If you don't have people in your door, it doesn't matter what you're doing. The basic stuff. Above that, operations. Above that, marketing. And the one we're going to focus on, service. And we've kind of related these to the hierarchy of an athlete because service is kind of like weightlifting, right? It's the sexy stuff that everybody thinks they're good at, but no one actually is. And that's what we're going to talk about. Because above service, just like sport, I'm going to put an I, and that I is for impact. Is that why you guys do this? You want to have an impact on yourselves, on your community, on your team. We get involved here because we want to change lives. And like you've all told me, you're doing that. You're doing it well. And in order to continue to have impact on your community, there's really 3 stakeholders involved in your business. The ones we often think about are our members. They're important stakeholders, and we need to make them happy. But how many of you have a coaching staff? We need to make them happy as well. And how about you make yourselves happy too? Your members, your staff, and yourselves. How many of you have seen someone out there like, I can help you? Like, I have this magic pill right here. Here it is. Do you want it? And they're like, no, I'm good. I'm like, yes, it's not a pill, but turns out, hey, if you just eat meats, vegetables, nuts, seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar, keep intake to levels that support exercise, not body fat, do this CrossFit thing over here, you're going to get results. Here it is. No, I'm good. We can change those people's lives. There are so many people out there. We're not battling over the 100 people that go to the gym next door or the gym next door. There's millions and billions of people that are sick and dying. If you remember that level 1 lecture, 80% are dealing with some sort of chronic disease. 80%. You're worried about the 10 people going to the box down the road? Walk around your neighborhood. Start with them. Let's get them in. We are lucky to be able to do that. Let's talk about service. Is there an eraser anywhere? You got an eraser in your... I don't want to use yours. Is that a towel?
No, it's a special.
Are you sure? It's washed, like I was worried. I don't want to dirty this whiteboard. All right. Thank you, Levi. So you got people coming in. You got people coming into your box. And often we think, oh, we need more people. We need more people coming in. But the truth of the matter is many of you already have enough people at your gym. We can talk about, are you charging enough? How many of you have 100 members? Wow. How many of you that have 100 members don't think you're making enough money? There's things we can talk about, right? Increasing that average client value. But the truth of the matter is, if you have 100 members, potentially you just need better retention. We just got to keep those 100 members and keep them here forever. The key to that retention is providing service, right? Providing a great class experience. And let me give you a little formula that we like to use when it comes to retention. And we'll talk about each one of these. Retention equals, I'm going to abbreviate, ACV, your average client value. If you're not sure what that is, you export how many members do I have, divided by the money we bring in, and that'll give you a number. Your average client value times your LEG, length of engagement. Right? If we're keeping these people for 2 years, 3 years, times their attendance, we have found if you can get someone to come in 16 times a month, they will stay longer than those that come in less. We do something called a committed club. Does anybody do a committed club? Wow. Great. If you don't, here's what it looks like. You set your threshold. Like I said, 16 we have found to be the best. It's also a great number if you have a limited memberships. Anybody have limited memberships? Because in order to be a part of it, you have to most likely be on your unlimited membership. And about halfway through the month, you pull everyone's name that's been there, say, 8 to 10 times, and you put it out there. Hey, it's halfway through the month. You guys are on pace to be in the committed club. Those of you that we didn't call your name, good news. There's still 15 days left. We can do this thing. Come on in. At the end of that first month, anyone that made it, all 200 of you made it, I put all your names in a little hopper or a hat or a randomizer on the internet, and I pull a name and say, Jared, you won a $50 certificate to our store or to wherever you want. Cool. Every quarter, those that have made it all 3 times, right? October, November, December, if you go home and implement this, we're going to have a slightly bigger prize. So if you've made it all 3 times, you're now entered into the quarterly raffle, and maybe we give a slightly bigger, hey, you want a pair of shoes from Noble. And then next year, if you make it 10 out of 12 times, you're entered to win our biggest prize. And that could be a free month, a free quarter. It could be a $200 gift certificate to Rogue, whatever you want to do. Take that home. Implement the Committed Club. It'll help with your retention. The last piece here is your TTV. Does anybody know what that stands for? Good, I'll tell you. Time to value. Time to value. How long does it take from the time I join your gym to get what I'm looking for? What you're looking for is going to be different than what the other person or other people are looking for. What do some of your people want when they join the gym? Lose weight, Courtney says. What else? Get stronger. Get a first pull-up. Climb a rope. Less pain. I like that one. That's many, right? How many people have joined your gym and, man, I just want some accountability? Anybody? How many have joined your gym and be like, well, I hear there's lots of sex happening and I want that. I want to join your gym. How long is that going to take? All right? Whatever it is. Time to value. Time to value there. And I'm going to give you 2 things you can do right now. Not right now, but when you go home to improve that. Because think about it. My average client value times how long they're here, times how often they come in, times how quick they get the results is going to be how strong your retention is. It's pretty simple. The lower these numbers, the lower your retention number. My average client value is 180 versus 115. My length of engagement is 14 months versus 36 months. The attendance is 16 times a month versus 8. Time to value, 1 month, 3 years. Think back, technique and intensity at your level 1. Hey, I guarantee you're going to get a pull-up. It's going to take 30 years, but you're going to have 1 amazing pull-up. Does that sound cool? No, you're like, I want to pull up tomorrow. Your members don't want to wait a year. I want it tomorrow. Let's talk about ways to improve that time to value, because it's not just fitness, like we said. PVB stands for Perceived Value Builder. Perceived Value Builder. We call those events. How many of you guys have events at your gym? Now, chances are the events you have are directly correlated to the types of events you enjoy. 100%. Because in 2007, when I was in my 20s and single, all of our events were parties. Every month, parties. Shots of tequila, let's go do Fran. Right, it was tequila. It's like the SoCal, or is it NorCal? NorCal margarita. You guys remember those? Tequila, club soda, lime. Rob Wolf talked about it. I was like, this is paleo, so this is awesome. But there's other types of events. How many of you guys mostly have parties? Some still, cool, enjoy it. These guys definitely. There's 2 other types of events, though, that we often overlook and your members like. There's training events. Hey, come on in on Saturday. We're going to work on your double unders. All right, let's do a kipping pull-up. We're going to bring in the level 1, or we're going to have Coach B do the weightlifting course here. You have members that love that, correct? And maybe for them, they're not getting enough of what they want. And then the other type of event is just what we call things. Some of your members just want new equipment. They want to work on, hey, can we come in and take all the barbells apart, put them back together? Can we build something over here, a front desk? Can we reorganize the wall balls so the 20s aren't super high and I can reach them? All of those things, parties, training, and things. So here's another piece of homework for you. It's the end of 2023. Go home. Look at your calendar for 2024 and write out the events that you're going to have. And make sure you're getting a nice split across the year. You know, less is more when it comes to events, right? You finish having an amazing party on Sunday, what's your one member say to you? He says, when's the next party? So it was yesterday. You were there, you're still drunk from it. It's in March, right? But if you have that, your training events, your other things, print it out, put it in the bathroom, put it in your lobby, post about it on social media, save this post, because we're going to have these parties. You're going to bring faster time to value. Because when that new member joins, and they are joining because, man, I'm new to the area and I don't have any friends, cool, well, we got a party next week. You want to come? Yeah. All of a sudden, that time to value just drops substantially or increase. So 2024, go write it out. Who does Murph every year? Cool. There's your first one. Write it down. Memorial Day, we're doing Murph. Who does a holiday party every year? By the way, if you don't have that announced, you're behind the 8 ball. You better go do that because everyone's got plans already in December. Who's got some things they can fix up at the gym? Put it down. Yeah, many things. Here's another thing you can do to increase that retention. Did you guys write that down? That was more than Austin gave you in 3 hours right there. Ambassadors. Who's got ambassadors? Cool. Let's talk about what that looks like. You have people that come in and they want some accountability, and maybe you're a one-man show, or maybe your coaches have a tight schedule. But what you can do is lean on the members you already have. Your members love to be asked to do things, especially when it makes them feel good about themselves. And helping somebody else makes you feel good about yourself. So, pick your 4 highest quality members. Write their names down right now. Who are they? You guys know them. Who are they? Zach, who's one? Carol. Let me add one next layer to that for those of you that wrote down 4 people that all take the same class. Spread them out throughout the day. Try to get your morning person. If you have a late morning, an afternoon, an early evening, late evening, try to find a nice cross-section of your members and pick 4 to 6. And tell them, congratulations, you are our first round of ambassadors. And they're going to say, what does that mean? It means when new members join, I'm going to reach out to Miles because Miles always shows up to my 6 a.m. class. Hey, Miles, we got a new member over here. His name's Caleb. He's going to be at the 6 a.m. class tomorrow. Can you be there and show him around? Absolutely, I'd love to. Cool. Just made friends. They're going to exchange phone numbers. They're going to be best buds. Do that for every new member. It's like a Sherpa into your box. I will carry you up these stairs. Questions about the ambassadors? Too simple there? Yep. The next layer to that ambassador is you tell them, of course, get their permission. They want to be ambassadors. You may have someone that says, hey, I'd love to. Right now is not the best time. Cool, part of being an ambassador is I'm going to give out your number. Are you okay with that? Or it can just be email, or it can be a DM, or it can be like, hey, they'll meet you there tomorrow. So to incentivize those ambassadors, 2 things. 1, whatever you sell at the gym, not including your membership, offer them 20 to 25% off during the duration of their time as an ambassador, which should be 6 months in which you rotate them out and rotate new people out. Because once you implement this ambassador program, your members will be dying to become ambassadors. Like, oh, there's something I can be doing, I want to do that. How many know that about their members? Once you put this out there, they're like, why am I not an ambassador? Well, you're not as much fun as this guy is. So maybe become more fun and you can be the next one. 6 months. Give them an incentive. Hey, these guys here at Cornerstone sell tons of supplements, right? 20% off, whatever that number is, as long as it still makes you profitable on that sale. The second part of that is, at the end of those 6 months, you're going to take all those ambassadors out to dinner. Take pictures, post about it. Ambassadors 2024 graduating. Our next group is coming on. We still haven't talked about class, have we? How much time do I have, Andrew? I'm over?
You have 3 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Just be respectful. Be respectful and keep going.
Care about our time.
Care. I love it. Here's the thing I've learned. Rarely do people leave CrossFit because they've had a bad experience. It happens. Right? They don't get along with you or a coach, or they didn't leave their ego at the door and they get hurt. More often than not, the people leaving affiliates just become desensitized, indifferent to what's happening in that class. How many of you, at one point in your CrossFit journey, just suddenly stopped getting coached? Let me see. Yeah, why? Because you became like the best one there. They're like, I don't coach Corey anymore because he's better than grandma, and I have to put all my attention over here now. Right? People leave just because they're like, I can go to almost any Globo gym in town and find a CrossFit in there. Sure, it's not an affiliate, but in 2007, I was literally the only gym with bumper plates, kettlebells, rings, a pull-up bar. Nowadays, it's everywhere. Right? How many of you have a gym that's not a CrossFit affiliate near you that's essentially doing CrossFit? And is it probably less expensive? Like some of these Globo gyms are like 20 bucks. Well, if I'm not getting coached here, which is what you promised me, that's why I joined, I'm going to go to this place over here. And just like Austin asked you guys, I will ask the same. I'll tell you guys because I know the answer. If I polled each of you individually and said, what separates you from the box down the road? Why are you different? What makes you better? 2 things. What are they? Community and coaching, more often than not. And I think that's bullshit. I like you guys so far, but I think some of you aren't doing a great job with coaching. And you're looking like this guy, it's that person, it's not me. How many of you know you're just amazing, you're crushing it when it comes to coaching?
Oh, coaching now.
I love the honesty, because it's true. And I was the same, and I thought I was great, and then I got to that level 2 in 2008. When I took it, 3 people passed me, Chris Spieler, and Brian Contosh. You know Tosh? And I was like, those 2 are good coaches. How did I just pass? Oh, people like me. People like me. But I'm a bad coach. Nowadays, you can go look at what good coaching looks like. Right? DT is going to talk more about that. But go find someone down the road. You guys have level 4s around you now. You think you coach well? Go watch a level 4 coach. It's different. It's not even apples. It's apples to pomegranates. It's completely different. They may look similar. You cut those things open, they're different. You got to go watch that. But good news. I'm a level 4. I'm going to teach you guys some things right now. I got you. You want to talk about it a little bit? I think a lot of times we think that box down the road doesn't care. Look around here. You think the person next to you showed up here because they don't care? I don't think that. I think we always think we're trying harder than the person down the road. But I'm going to give you more. If you have your phone, your iPad, your computer, open it up. You can do this later. If you go to besthouroftheirday.com/ideal class for free, you don't even have to give us your email. There's a class evaluation ready for you to download. You can see it on your phone. You can download it when you get home. It will still be there for free. besthouroftheirday.com/ideal class. If you forget that or I said it wrong for some reason, DM us and we'll give it to you. But it's free. It's out there. It's a class evaluation. Because this is how you do it, Charity. We work on that ideal class experience. When I say ideal class experience, it is what is happening from 0 to 60. 0 being the beginning of class, 60 being the end of class. Does that work, that link for you guys? You see it? Anybody open it?
Yes.
Cool. Print it out. I think it's 5 pages. And here's your homework, and we'll talk about what that looks like. How many of you have consistent, regular staff meetings? Ooh. Got some room to grow here. You're going to go home Monday. Wait till Monday. Message your coaches. Message your coaches and say, we are having our next staff meeting this Saturday, the 23rd of September, the 30th, whatever that looks like. By the way, if when I said message your coaches, you immediately got on the coaches text thread on your phone, that's an amateur move. If your way of dealing with your coaches is via text, honest, who does it? We got to change that. Jeremiah, I'm embarrassed. Go download Slack. Who uses Slack? It's free. I wish I made money every time I send someone to Slack. By the way, there's other tools out there. Do not use WhatsApp. That's just texting for international people. I know text doesn't work because I used to do it. Here's what happens. Hey guys, we have a new member that joined. They're injured. They have a broken leg. They're coming into class. And then someone sends like a stupid meme. CrossFit Games, did you guys see that? And it's like, the injury is no longer available, right? Has that happened to you guys? So let's professionalize the way you communicate with your coaches. You're going to have your next class meeting. Your coach meeting. You're going to print out the ideal class experience. And let's talk about what that meeting is going to look like. I've given you the answers. They're going to be right in front of you. However, you're going to tell your coaches at this meeting on Saturday, I need you to show up with what you think from beginning to end the perfect class looks like. You're going to create the buy-in amongst your own staff to create that ideal class experience. It's not Jeff or Miles or Sean saying, hey, here's what we've decided the perfect class is. It's you guys, talk to me. What does the perfect class look like? The cool thing is you're gonna have the answers in front of you. But I want you to get those answers from them. So quickly, what's one thing you guys think should be a part of the perfect class? Ideal class experience. Being what? Greeted. Being greeted, yes. Hey, do we think it's important that everyone gets their name said? Maybe a handshake, eye contact. Do you guys agree with that? Cool. Let's write that down. Because you can change ours, edit it, make it your own, throw your logo on there. Here's the other 2 important factors to this as to why it will be successful. 1, everything is binary. It's not subjective. It's yes or no. Did you greet Matt, Chris, Jared? Yes or no? Because now, you do not have to be the only person that can do these evaluations. Any coach can do them. If you can count, you can do an ideal class experience. What else?
Start efficiency.
Start on time. Who said that? Emily? What's start on time mean?
Classes at 5.
Starts at 5? Cool. We'll write that down. You guys will know the answers. Anybody show up to class and the coach is like, hey, we're going to wait for all the late people? Well, it drives me crazy. I'm here on time. Start now. But how about this? If your coach rolled in at 5 for the 5 o'clock class, is that cool? Zach, what time should they be there? At least maybe that's got to go down. Hey, do you guys think we should be early? Cool, we'll write that down. Let's do 2 more. Intro, what about it?
Go over what you're going to do that day.
Yeah, whiteboard brief. And within that, on the evaluation we've provided you, it's, did you say the stimulus? Did you discuss scaling options? Did you demo? Did you connect with people? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So it's binary. One more thing.
Time management.
Time management meaning what, Charity?
Efficiency with the brief, efficiency with demonstration.
Sure. Was your brief less than 3 minutes? All right. Did the workout start on time? Right. We call that the drop dead start time. Any of you that have shown up with a lesson plan know that sometimes things go wrong. But I know if we're doing Fran today, by 40 minutes on that clock, I better be saying 3, 2, 1, go. Because I want to leave 10 minutes for a cool down at the end. So you'll have this ideal class experience and you get everybody to contribute. And the goal is, at the end of that meeting, everything you want in that ideal class is written down, then printed out. Then all of your coaches sign it. So that way, when Courtney comes in, and I'm like, hey, Courtney, you got a problem with Miles? She's like, no, I like Miles. I'm like, well, why didn't you say hi to Miles when he walked into this door? That was your idea, Courtney. Now we have some people that we can talk. Hey, Courtney, you said this. Hey, Zach, you said we should start 15 minutes early. I noticed you rolled in, 4 minutes before class. Your signature's right here. What happened? Now you have a way to communicate with them. Here's how I would recommend. Like I said, hey guys, Saturday, all 200 of you showing up. I need you to show up with beginning to end what you think we should be doing during that class. Now, my job is to pull that out of you, right? So I would say something like, let's talk about something we haven't discussed. Hey, did you tell them about the holiday party? Should we talk about the next event that's coming up? Yeah, cool, let's write that down, right? So by the end, everything that I want is going to be written on the board, which I will then transfer to the document. Ours is pretty good, but I'm sure you guys can all think of something unique or different that you want at your affiliate. We might say, hey, say everyone's name 3 times, and you might say, no, 4 is better. So write that down, print it out. I like to have a laminated copy with everyone's signature on it. So at the end, if they don't do something, the next time I coach, or the next time they coach and I evaluate them, I can be like, you signed this, it's right here. You said you would do this. From there, my recommendation would be you need to evaluate all of your coaches 3 times in October. Is that a lot? For some of you, I suppose it depends how many staff members you have. But did we all agree that what we're doing on the dance floor is the most important thing you're doing at the box? So it shouldn't seem like too much. You're improving your service. That's your retention tool. Because again, people don't leave because of bad experiences. People leave because they become indifferent to what you're doing. From there, you can set the pace that you want. It can continue to be 1 a month. It can continue to be quarterly. But the cool thing that I told you already is you don't have to be the only person doing this. Because it's binary, because it's yes and no, anyone could be doing it. By the way, you need to be evaluated as well. Your coaches need to evaluate you. You need to lead by example. You need to show them, hey, I'm in this too. Who's going to do my first evaluation? I want to get better. I'm studying for my level 3. I'm taking my level 2. I'm going to do the level 4. I want to get better. Who's got me? They're going to be psyched. Firstly, you have to make sure that you've created an environment that is receptive and appreciates feedback. All of us that are on level 1 staff, from Andrew to Austin to Denise, grew up in that environment. Every weekend we get feedback, good or bad. The second piece to that is it needs to be immediate. So you're only evaluating classes in which immediately after that class you can provide feedback. So if they have a 5:30 class, and after the 4:30, we need to evaluate the 5:30. Because what happens is, hey, remember earlier today? They're like, that didn't happen, right? We've become a little bit disconnected from that. So immediately after, positive. Although it's yes or no, it's pretty like, this happened, here it is. There's a no right there. There's also room on our evaluation, and you can add your own to put in some subjective notes. Hey, you did a great job with this, but I'd love to see you work on that. So create an environment that thrives off of feedback. Albany CrossFit, my first affiliate, we had 6 full-timers, but 20 part-timers. And I'm aware most of you, how many of you have exclusively part-time coaches? That's part of it. I'll tell you a couple things. 1, everything at your affiliate trickles down from you. What happens in your affiliate, you create or you tolerate. And a lot of times you guys keep people on staff that should not be on staff. Change the people or change the people. So you're going to go home Monday, and you have to recognize some of these people are not going to be here in 3 months or a year. That's okay. I've worked with some of you. I can think of one great example of Devin in the back, who the thought of losing a coach stresses you out. It stresses you out because you know when they leave, you have to coach more. And then you show up to coach that class, and you're like, this is so much less stressful than having that coach here. I love coaching. That person was stressing me out, and now I get to do this. You're always going to be one coach away from being back on the floor. Doesn't matter what's going on. Multiple people will be on vacation at the same time. People will have kids. Life happens. But to give you something actionable on that, one, lead by example. Show up and coach your face off every time. Make that standard so high that no one wants to be the worst coach at your box. No one wants to be the coach where they're like, I don't really go to that class because she's not as good as this guy. Everybody wants to be there. And I can tell you this, your coaches are not showing up for the $15 an hour you're paying them. They're showing up because just like you, they love CrossFit and they love helping people, and all they want is to get better at something they care about. So if you show up and start doing evaluations, you will see the right people rise. And that might mean a few people fall off, and that's okay. The standard is the standard, whether you coach once a week or 20 times this week. So start with that evaluation period. And I will tell you this, when it comes to coaches meetings, I'm sure you guys have experienced this, like, I'm part-time and you want me to show up to meetings? Like, I didn't sign up for that. Well, one, I would love for you all to get to a place where you're comfortable not only paying all of your coaches, but then also paying them for the meetings. It's very hard. We have to value their time as well. Two things that I think can help with that. One, don't do Saturday and Sunday meetings. I know I just told you to do a Saturday meeting. I take it back. Thursday, 7 p.m. Cancel your last class for the day, once a month. How many of you participate in something that they close for staff development? My daughter's daycare closes. I'm like, really? I need you to be open Christmas. I don't care what day it is. I need you to be open. But they have staff development, and I accept it because I want them to get better. Your members will do the same. Hey, the third Thursday of every month at 6 o'clock, we have a staff meeting, there's no class. Or it's open gym. Or it's, one coach is there because you trust them and they can bypass the meeting. But do it on a weekday rather than a weekend. Be prompt about it. No different than your class timeline. From 0 to 60, what's that look like? If you can't afford to pay everybody there, buy them Chipotle. Buy them something. Show them that you're invested in them and that you respect the fact that this is time away from their family or their jobs. The second thing you could potentially do in addition to that is a weekly, keep it on Thursdays. Hey guys, every Thursday at 7, we hop on Zoom. It's 10 minutes or less. I record it, so if you can't be there, you can listen to it on your commute to work tomorrow. Put it on double speed. I'll sound more like a munchkin than I do in real life. And listen to it. And that just might be like, hey, Chris joined. He's got a bum ankle. Hey, the holiday party's coming. Make sure we're announcing that, right? Just the short, quick hitters that you need to get to them. You do those two things, and you'll start to see slightly better attendance at your meetings. And then, again, remember, not everyone's going to make it, and that's okay. That's okay. Imagine this. Imagine the difference between somebody walking in and you're like, I'll get you a pull-up in a year, and that same person hanging up the phone and magically having a pull-up in their back pocket. They'd be like, well, I'm never leaving here. I got exactly what I wanted immediately, right? So the faster we can do that, the faster you can get them a win, right? That's what you're trying to do, stack these small wins, right? That ambassador, it's not because that's going to make a massive difference in their fitness, but it's like, I've already got a buddy. That's one more thing that's holding me to this box here. Right? So just all of these little small wins along the way pay off huge in the end. Before I leave, let me tell you this. Charity asked, what about the boxes that don't care? How many of you understand the sentiment of what she's asking and what she's saying and what she's thinking? Now, let me pose a question to you all. How many of you are not trying? How many of you are not trying? Period. I don't care. Put your hand up real high, real proud. I don't care. I don't give a shit. None of you, because you wouldn't be here. And I guarantee before you walked in today, another box that's here you thought that about, right? Some of you, or they're not here. But I can tell you this. I've never met a CrossFit affiliate that doesn't care. I've been to hundreds of CrossFit affiliates from Cincinnati, Ohio to Dubai. They all care. You don't get involved in CrossFit because you don't care. But for some reason, we think the box down the road is our competition. There are so many people in your town that need your help. The box down the road is not your competition. The box down the road is your ally. Yeah, you see that? That's what happens. I'm not done. I'm not done. So here's my challenge to you all. When the box down the road has their next fundraiser, show up. When the Open comes around next year, invite them over. Realize you have so much more in common with them than any differences you can possibly imagine. Because you're all here because you care about this thing. Together, we're all so much stronger than we are. A rising tide lifts all boats. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.